As many of you probably know by now, LEGO Batman 2 is a game I'm very close to. It was the first AAA game I bought myself, the first game I bought at full price, and hell, it was released on my birthday, June 22nd. And at one point, I held world record in both the any percent and multiplayer any percent categories. For as revolutionary as LEGO Batman 2 was, being the first TT Games LEGO game to feature an open world and full voice acting, I barely remember the game's advertisements at all. To be fair, I know for a fact I saw more ads for LEGO Batman 2 than I did for the original LEGO Batman, but compared to other games at the time, LEGO Batman 2 had very little marketing. The most notable thing I can remember, which I only learned about sometime after the game released, was that if you pre-ordered the game, you would get this super cool limited edition Lex Luthor action figure thing, minifigure, but that was it. That was their pre-order bonus, a minifigure. I wouldn't necessarily call it out of place for LEGO or TT Games, but I kinda thought they'd do more than just a minifigure for their pre-order bonus. Since 2012, I haven't been able to shake the idea that there's something more to the advertising, something I've been missing. There's no way all they did to promote this game was release a minifigure in a box. So, earlier this month, I decided to dedicate some time to looking into LEGO Batman 2 to see if I could uncover anything. Originally, all I found were the dev bricks shown here. These bricks were given out to important developers on the LEGO Batman 2 project, with only a very few of them actually being publicly sold ever, and said few are all in the hands of private collectors. As much as I would love to get one of these dev bricks, their average cost is like $500 to $3,000, and it's enough to make me say I'm good. I got to thinking a bit more about my search, and I started wondering if there happened to be a demo or promotional version of the game that was distributed. I searched for over 2.5 hours with different terms like LEGO Batman 2 Demo Disc, LEGO Batman 2 Promotional Kit, LEGO Batman 2 Promotional Disc, etc, etc. You get the idea. After about 2.5 hours of searching, I was ready to give up and say that no, there really wasn't anything else to uncover besides the dev bricks. In a last-ditch effort, I searched LEGO Batman Press Kit. And wouldn't you know it, tear this open. Oh my god. That is so cool. So, I have a bit of explaining to do here. The image that I saw, the only image I could find of the press kit, was hosted on an Irish Craigslist style site called adverts.ie. Essentially, it's the Craigslist of Ireland. Many of you probably haven't heard of this, and rightfully so. It's really only popular to use in, well, Ireland. Because of where both this image and the listing that contained the image were hosted, I had a pretty good feeling that I had no chance of getting this item. I mean, look at the seller's reviews. There's no way he would ship such a small, seemingly meaningless item overseas to a brand new account. Right? Well, we wouldn't be here if that were the case. Enter Tom Riddle, a seller who I can now confidently say is the best internet salesman I've ever worked with. Not only agreed to ship the item to the US, but also told me how he managed to get such a coveted item.
I used to have a gaming news website, so I got invited to launch events, etc. over here in Ireland. They would send out press launch kits. I used to have loads of them, but sold them off. Some are listed in my ads, I think. I think I have a load of PlayStation review copy games, as in just the disc in a plastic case. I have a DC Universe press kit, Vita launch kit, Infamous, God of War 3, Forza stuff and bits and pieces like key rings and pins left somewhere, I think. Probably have some other stuff.
Tom said he would get the press kit shipped out within a few days, and sure enough, within about a week, I had the press kit in my hands and in front of the camera as you see here. Now, one of the major things to note about this press kit is the disc you've been seeing. The asset disc. This disc, originally shown in the listing photos, as of writing has not been documented ever. So although myself and fellow LEGO Batman 2 speedrunner The Infinite Rift theorized that it was likely just high fidelity renders and promotional videos for use in reviews, we figured it'd be best to document whatever was on the disc for everyone to see and use. So every single file you are about to see is available at the link in the description. Here's some footage of myself and SATAMonkeys podcast co-host Small Boy Bear accessing the previously undocumented asset disc for the first time. So this is the poster that I got, just without the little logos in the bottom right. Whoops, didn't mean to drag. There we go. Oh, a PSD of it? Let's open that up. Oh, shit. Oh, these are renders.
Oh.
That's cool. Oh, shit. That's an holy, Rob, that's an early Aquaman. That is early Cyborg. Yeah, no, he does not look like that in the final game. I do not believe his hair is... It's hard for me to pinpoint exactly what's wrong with that, but I can tell you, like, definitely that is wrong. That is not what he looks like in the final game. And with the exception of those screenshots, it was just as we expected. Just promotional videos and renders of the title heroes and villains. That said, some of these files were incredible in their quality. Many of these were in 8K. The only unfortunate part of this find was that everything was included but the game. Tom suggested that he might have sold it at an earlier date, and I later confirmed this by checking back through his listing history. Sure enough, he had sold it 6 years ago. That old listing proved to be a very lucky find though, as it not only clued me into what exactly these PS3 demo copies look like, but upon researching them they also seemed to be quite common, so I was able to purchase one. And although I may not have the same BLES identifier as Tom's, which is what Sony used to track demo discs, here it is, the PS3 promo/demo disc. Now, Tom had warned me that he didn't believe the demo disc was any different from the final release of the game and was likely just a reskinned disc. Luckily, I didn't invest too much in the disc, it cost around $11. That said, he was right. All the disc contained was the full fat game with a red promo label on the disc instead of the traditional Caped Crusader and Man of Steel artwork. At that point, I considered myself satisfied with my findings. Until wait. If there's a PS3 demo version, where's the Xbox 360 demo version? Now, I spent hours, and I mean hours, researching through various methods, be it generic to hyper-advanced terms in Google, and even using Yandex search engine to see if that brought any different results. After giving up on Yandex and switching back to Google, I typed terms that at this point I don't even remember, and you can probably guess where this is going. Enter Jamie Gooner, a man who was a prominent blogger about half a decade ago, who was contacted by WB in 2012. They noticed how popular his blog was and offered to send him a full LEGO Batman 2 press kit to review. It can be assumed that Jamie chose to receive the Xbox 360 version, and receive it he did, along with a bunch of other Batman and LEGO themed goodies for his children. He gave the game a positive review, and continued with his normal blogs for a few years after. Jamie would stop blogging, at least on this specific blog, in 2015, and would switch to Twitter as his primary social media platform. Fast forward almost a decade, and here was Fortnite Dan, a random, likely meme spam account asking multiple times for more information on his Xbox 360 press kit for a game from almost 10 years ago. When I sent Jamie the 2 tweets I didn't expect a response. The guy's followed by Barack Obama. Why would he possibly respond to me? Well, he did. Upon requesting to direct message, Jamie agreed to sell me the Xbox 360 promotional disc, the one in his photo, the only photo of an Xbox 360 LEGO Batman 2 promotional copy on the internet, for shipping price. It didn't stop there though. Jamie also told me the entire story you just heard about how he obtained the press kit to begin with. So again, go check out Jamie's Twitter as well as his old blog. There's some pretty good reads there. Sadly, but I guess expectedly, the Xbox 360 promotional disc was no different than the PS3's. It was the full base game with a different label on the disc. That said, this is still to my knowledge the only disc case with the Xbox 360 promotional label on it for LEGO Batman 2 to still exist, making this green translucent DVD holder one of a kind. Now, the video was going to end here originally, but I had one other cool thing to show you guys. What I have here may just seem like what I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, the box pre-order copy of LEGO Batman 2 that came with the Lex Luthor minifigure. And although you would not be mistaken, there's more to it. When researching the press kit, I would constantly come across box copies of either the Xbox 360, PS3, or PS Vita versions of the game instead of, the press kit. None of these are super easy to find and purchase nowadays, but I wouldn't say they're super difficult either. The point being that they are purchasable. The more I thought about it though, I realized something. There was a promotional version for the Xbox, the PS3, and the PS Vita, but why not PC? After some hunting on eBay, since general search terms brought up no results, I managed to both find and buy what you saw earlier. This right here is the only factory sealed box copy for PC that I could find on the entire internet. There was one other listing of a box PC copy, one that I have unfortunately not been able to find again while making this video, that was in terrible condition, was missing the Lex Luthor minifigure, and overall was not worth purchasing due to its aforementioned condition. Now, by unboxing this, I'm completely devaluing this 100%. If one of these goes on sale in the future, a PC edition factory sealed, I'm probably going to buy it, just to display it. That said, in true 2012 fashion, you only live once, and I decided after a few hours of mental deliberation to crack this thing open and unbox one of the last sealed PC copies of LEGO Batman 2 ever for your viewing pleasure. Wow. That's cool. Look at that. This is now completely devalued. Sealed PC copy of the game. We got the promotional bag that came with this. It's the Lex Luthor set, which I wanted as a kid really bad, and I never could get it. Now I have it. And well, that concludes my findings. For now. I'm currently looking into obtaining the E3 demo copy of the game, as well as any in-depth copies that existed only amongst TT Games' internal employees. If any of that ever surfaces, I'll make sure to make an update video and keep you all in the loop. If you have any information on where I could find such things, do let me know in the comments, or at the contact email both in the description and in our about page, SATAMonkeys@gmail.com. I'm EarthToFatt, and thank you for watching this SATAMonkeys production. I hope you have a fantastic day.